Hey y'all, welcome back to New Slang. I'm music journalist Thomas Mooney, and we're closing down the week with episode 177, where I'm joined by R.C. Edwards. R.C., of course, is a founding member of one of my all-time favorite bands, Turnpike Troubadours, and is now the frontman of a new band, his new band, R.C. and the Ambers. He was in Lubbock the other day playing a show at Blue Light, so we did a quick little episode after the sound check. We talk about Big Country, the forthcoming debut album by R.C. and the Ambers, and we talk about some of those songs and share a few old stories and a few other things about basketball and the Thunder and whatnot. Today's presenting partner is our pals over at Desert Door Texas Sotol. If you've been listening to New Slang for really any amount of time, you'll know that Desert Door is one of my all-time favorite premium, high-quality spirits. If you haven't or aren't sure what exactly a Sotol is, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that's going to up the game on your liquor cabinet. For starters, the best reference point that I can point you to is to think about a tequila or a mezcal. Do you feel that Western desert, that Texas ruggedness? Okay, Sotol is like that, but a little bit more refined, smooth, and fragrant. It intrigues the palate and offers these hints of vanilla and citrus. There's an earthiness that often sends me right back to my Trans-Pecos and far west Texas roots. There's plenty to love about Desert Door. For me, it all starts right there. A close second is just how versatile Desert Door really is. You can go full highbrow and experiment with concocting a variety of cocktails that call for muddling fresh fruit, sprigs of thyme, sticks of cinnamon. It's perfect for that world. If you're a little bit more down home, if you've just rolled up the sleeves of your denim Wrangler button-up, it's perfect for that as well. If you're just desiring something that's short and sweet, it hits the mark every time. Desert Door is genuine and authentically West Texan. It's inherently West Texan. They harvest Sotol plants out in the wild and are knowledgeable conservationists at heart. That's obviously something incredibly important to me. They shine a light on what makes West Texas special and unique and worth preserving and keeping it safe from exploitation. Right now, you can find Desert Door all over Texas, Colorado, Tennessee, and there's budding numbers in places like New Mexico, Arizona, California, and Georgia. Best thing you can do is to check out desertdoor.com to find where Desert Door is locally. Again, that's desertdoor.com. If this is your first time listening to New Slang, be sure and hit that subscribe button. New Slang is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and virtually everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Of course, if you're going to do so, take another 2 seconds and hit that 5-star review. It does go a long way. Be sure to make a pit stop on over at the merch store. That would be newslangpodcast.bigcartel.com. Over there we have plenty of t-shirts and coffee mugs and shot glasses and a lot of other stuff. If you're wanting even more New Slang stuff, a great way to support this podcast, my 90s country podcast, The Neon Eon, and journalism in general is to sign up and become a part of my Patreon. You can sign up for monthly merch packs, ad-free episodes, or be part of our postcard club for as little as $3 a month. And of course, all the links that I just mentioned, they will be in the show notes. Which, yeah, short episode. Let's do a short intro. Here is R.C. Edwards. I'm not good enough to...
Did you listen to any of those live streams me and Amber did during the shutdown, on Facebook?
No, I didn't really watch anybody's stuff because I just found
So a lot of them we had, our buddy Kyron was there with a portable speaker, and he had downloaded an app of sound effects on his deal, and so he was you know how the morning radio guys will have the guy...
Yeah.
You'd point at him and he'd do a laugh track or a clap or
womp womp.
Yeah, he had just a lot of weird ones, and it was pretty funny. Added to the show a lot.
Yeah, I wish I was good enough to be one of the radio guys, because hypothetically, what you'd want to be able to do is just have it where you could have all the intros in with it and just do the intro with the theme music in and all that kind of shit, and then be just
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. What's nice about here, and I've seen people talk about, you can obviously upload whatever you want. So let's say one time, RC, you said this about this, and then
you should have prepared, Yeah, like I listen to a lot of like sports talk radio, and they're like, well, it'll be like Gideon, play the clip. Listen to what he said, and it'll be like some interview a guy had that day or something, and you could like do it to your guest. Like, I'm gonna ask you if you remember this. What is this? An attack piece?
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. What I mainly got this though was just because we got the phone line, so I can just like plug in the phone, and versus I was like having to put different, like I had like an iRig and like all this shit to have to like plug into a different board, like just to plug into my phone for phone calls.
Yeah, I was gonna say for calling and stuff.
Because all this, almost like 99% of this has been over the phone these past year. So. Oh yeah, last year especially, huh? Right. So it's been a minute since the first in-person ones. Mm-hmm. So it's been we were the very first ones, isn't it? Huh? We were the very first ones, isn't it? Yeah, you guys were the first ones, and like I've been in Cherokee County too long. I'm probably hard to understand sometimes. We're finally getting out into the civilized world again. Yeah, that's whenever I was so unprepared on any of this shit, where, I had Parker doing all of the engineering, and stuff. Because like originally, me and him were going to be doing it together, and it was like, Parker, you really don't talk much. Like I can't get you to fucking talk at all during any of these. Silent co-host. Yeah, you just moral support and engineering. Yeah, just do the head nod over there. Parker's head nodding right now, so yeah. But anyways, one of my favorite things in that first one, like you write a lot of the songs like is there are you thinking of like how Evan's gonna, I think I went on some rant about like there are certain words he doesn't like to use, just made up of some nonsense. Well, like I still will ask people about stuff like that because and it's all based off of Noel Gallagher talking about for Oasis having certain words that he would write because he knew his brother could sing them better because he had like the long vowel. It's a funny idea. Like I guess I would never think about it personally, but I would think about a word as far as like, is it if I'm singing or if anyone's singing it, does it sound better as vocally? Yeah. As a word that might be prettier on a page, but it's not going to be pretty singing it. Right. Yeah. Because like catastrophe, you can because it's all in the long vowels. If you can like stretch out that vowel, the only person who I remember actually saying yes, and this is like just recent, was Terry McBride, who McBride and the Ride, 90s band, who once that band broke up, he's writing. She was the chick who always wore the cowboy hat, right? Huh? I'm joking. But he was talking about how he ended up like writing a bunch of songs for Brooks and Dunn, and like, oh okay, well Ronnie can sing a certain way, and like he wrote like if you see her, if you see him, and so like he was saying like he was thinking about the way Reba and Ronnie Dunn sing, and like his little demo of it is him doing a Ronnie Dunn impression basically. So there you go. Only person though. I mean, that's literally like the only person who said, matter of fact, yes. So I digress. That's the next level there. I know, but yeah, it's how it goes, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, you guys have a new record that's going to be coming pretty soon. Oh yeah. Give a little synopsis, a little short intro into it. It's called Big Country. Title track is a song I wrote called Big Country about Big Country Bryant Reeves, who you might remember from 90s basketball fame. And he's from a town real close to where I grew up, Gans, Oklahoma. And he was sort of a folk hero, and it kind of still is, the big country. And so I kind of, naturally you got to write a song about him. And so that was one of the tracks on the record, and we get to try to think of the name. I was like, Big Country, man, I like that a lot. And my buddy Pigs was doing some artwork for us, and we have another song on the record called Astronaut. It's one that me and Johnny Burke wrote. And he'd made, because I'd seen him some tracks, like this is sort of what we're working with, like you got any design ideas, and he made this design, and it was an astronaut, like in some stars, and then it said Big Country under it. It ended up, it's going to be the album cover, but it was like, hello. But I like that
idea of big country. That's space. That's the biggest country, you know. And I was like, that kind of works together, and so that's sort of how the name came together.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the story of the album, it's a lot of songs. Spans a long time that these songs I've written. A few of them with Johnny. Hank Early produced, mixed, mastered, engineered, like played every instrument you can think of. Like it was very much like me and Hank's project, and he was the magician on the whole thing. And there's one of his songs on there. It's called Oklahoma Beach Body, and that's it. That's going to be our first single. It should be out in around the middle of June, I believe. And then we're looking at, don't have a date yet, but the record should be out this fall. Like, turns out a lot of people made records last year, and so it's almost like a traffic jam through distribution people as far as getting them out and getting stuff printed or pressed. Like there's definitely like a traffic jam in the releasing music flow right now, but we finally got some wheels turning, and it looks like it should be out around September, and then we'll have some singles like hitting in the middle of June. But kind of made it all throughout. I think we started in the fall and kind of finished up around December. Like just, you know, like some of it was just not having much to do when everything was closed, and
right.
So like did pre-production and writing, and then started recording in the fall. And it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. Like I made a solo record once so long ago. It's like hilariously long ago. Like me and Fulbright made one in Durant that I've got a copy of it, but it's never really seen the light of day. But it's fun, but it's just not really the quality that people might expect in a sound in a record. But this one's pretty legit though. We're really happy with it. First one that I've got to do with Amber, and Justin Kay's on it, our mandolin player. The two newest guys in the band aren't on it. It was done before they really got in the band, but like I said, like Hank does most of the parts. It's pretty excited about it. It's a lot of songs that some new ones, but then also some old ones that I'd written that didn't really fit Turnpike, and so this is sort of an outlet for that. Got some horns on there. Corey Graves from the Vandaliers, he was nice enough to do some horns on it. Gabe Pearson, Turnpike, the drums, and then Kate did the mandolin, and Amber did some vocals, and then I just played guitar and sang, and then the rest of it's Hank. It's a very Hank Early driven project, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I've not really thought about it having where everyone's gotten in line to do distribution, and there being a jam, because like everyone's talked about, next year that's when I'm gonna release the record, and all these people you talk with, it's like, we've put off the record for 8 months or a year. We've had this in the back pocket, and then now all of a sudden everyone's gonna be trying to release it this year.
Well,
I know, like even just like with vinyl specifically, I know like a lot of that's been backed up, but I didn't really necessarily even think about just all the other shit, just like if you're doing CDs, obviously, or just someone's punching that in the computer.
It's sort of two-sided. Like not two-sided. There's the two factors. There's one that people delayed their releases because of COVID. They couldn't get out and promote it. The other one is people made more records because they weren't out playing live. They were at home working. Well, we might as well make a record. And that so lots of music's coming out. And then what really, vinyl is one of the slowest things, hardest things to get done right now. It's like, I think 4 to 6 months right now to press vinyl.
Right. I know that like a lot of people, it's been that you can pre-order it now, and then you'll get it when it's...
Get it when you get it. Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people fell into.
I remember I think
Kyle had a lot of trouble.
He had said that there was like something messed up on the print, so it basically hit him back to the back of the line, because like he wasn't going to put out something that had just
it's everything's a cue, like everything's a line, and every part of it seems like, and like I said, the line's pretty long right now.
This episode of New Slang is brought to you by the Blue Light Live here in Lubbock, Texas. Blue Light has long been the heart and soul of the Lubbock singer-songwriter scene and has been a home away from home for some of Texas, Americana, country, and rock and roll's finest over the years. Talk with 99.9% of the songwriters who have come out of Lubbock and the Panhandle at large over the past 20 years, and they'll point to just how integral and necessary the Blue Light is. With live music and touring slowly but surely coming back, spots like the Blue Light are getting back to their usual ways as well. That means music every night of the week. Do you want to see that schedule? Well, I've got a few options for you. 1, go to their socials and give them a follow. That is at Blue Light Live on Twitter, at The Blue Light Live on Instagram, and of course by just searching The Blue Light Live on Facebook. They're consistently posting that week's lineup of shows, as well as those heavy hitters that ought to be on your calendar that are coming up on the horizon. 2, check out bluelightlubbock.com as well. There they have the full schedule, the cover charges, time, any of those specials that may be happening. While there, go check out their merch page. They have a wide range of hats, koozies, hoodies, sweaters, beanies, jackets, and so much more. You can, of course, get all of your merch needs when you go see your favorite band take the stage at Blue Light. Just ask the bartender and they will get you all set. Speaking of which, that's another great way of seeing who's playing there. Just go to the Blue Light. It's at 1806 Buddy Holly Avenue here in Lubbock, Texas. And of course, again, that is bluelightlubbock.com. I'll throw a link into the show notes too. Maybe I'll see you there. Okay, let's get back to the show. You know, I've always wondered about this is like, you go to these places and there's, to a garage sale or something, right? And there's just a shit ton of vinyl that is never going to be bought, right? Are they able to like recycle that to make new vinyl?
I don't know.
have no idea.
I see like lots of arts and craft people like make ashtrays and
Right. That's
art
what all
out
I've
of
seen.
it. But yeah, I wonder. That's an interesting question because could you just melt it and start again? You know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to do some googling on that one probably. Or
Yeah. I didn't think you'd have the answer,
get
but
the. My formal training is in pharmacy, Mooney. I'm not an industrial chemist.
hey, I mean,
Pharmaceutical chemist,
Yeah.
maybe.
but you know what I mean though? It's like there's all these fucking, I don't know. I don't want to put any old, easy listening artists on blast, but if we could just take all his records and melt them back down to a record and then put them.
So like we would always be digging through, flea markets and thrift stores or wherever for records, and there would be an insane amount of like Christian and gospel records.
Right.
And I don't know that it was just. I think that those were just the people who donated to like the charities that were running the thrift store that we ended up at, but yeah, there's so many vinyls that are just no one's ever going to listen to that.
Yeah. I'm still one of these guys who is like dead set on like finding Lubbock on everything, like out in the wild, because there has to
thrill,
be,
huh?
Yeah, there has to be. It has to be out there somewhere, and it's just been,
Oh, someone's sitting on some of them. Like,
they're in someone's closet, someone's grandma's
in
closet.
Tulsa, the record store found Rolling Stone Sticky Fingers with the working zipper.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
And it just made my day to find that. Like I'd seen the printed one before, but I hadn't seen the real zipper one.
Yeah.
Wonder how much extra that cost. Like, because that's another thing I'm learning. Like, because I'm dealing with all this record hands-on, is like what it costs to make your art, to make your cover work, your press everything, and like that had to be a very expensive thing to add to a record.
Right.
A working zipper.
Yeah, because I obviously
like the label and management were like, "Are you no guys, no," and they're like, "Well, we have to." Well, he's got to have a fucking zipper.
Or it's either that or like back in the day, like because it's the Stones, you're like, "Oh yeah, of course, yeah, sure." You want like rivets on like the back pocket too?
They're not liking it, but they can't tell them no. Like in behind, as soon as the meeting's over, they're like, Jesus Christ, a zipper? Really? Like, you know how much this is going to cost? And, like, the accountants are telling them exactly, like, yeah, it's an extra $5 an album, and just a lot of money back then.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though, too, is, like, where maybe there was, like, because it's also limited, obviously, clearly. There's not, like, every fucking one of them with a...
What if there was, like, a particular, like, zipper factory that they were friends with, and, like, this is the deal. Like, we're gonna sell 100,000 zippers for you for our album.
Well, I was thinking that, or like the number of, like, okay, like pre-meeting, we know that these guys like Mick and Keith are gonna want the zipper because clearly the cover's like that. What's our number? You know,
yeah,
nothing over 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we have to do this because it's what Mick wants, but what can we cut him off at, you know?
Yeah. I always think about with the Stones now is after Keith put out that book, he refers to Mick as Brenda, like and he says it like in a like it wasn't like supposed to be like a slap to the face or condescending. It was supposed to be in a loving way. It's like, how is that like loving whatsoever? Like at any point, Todd Snyder has a song about it called Brenda.
Yeah, yeah, no, like how does it not like calling someone I don't know, like a Nancy or something, you
right.
know, like something your junior high gym coach would like call you like pick it up, Brenda, or something like that, you know, like how does it not come across that way?
Yeah.
But it's Brenda.
It's
my Brenda.
In a loving way. I affectionately called him Brenda. It's like, those band
They wrote their own
right
rules,
there.
I guess.
Yeah. I always kind of go, like, everyone gives Mick shit for, like, you know, kind of being it would be fun to be in a band with Keith Richards, you know? And it's like, no, actually, like, all your livelihood is tied to, like, him. And, like, because no one wants a Mick solo record out of him. Even though he put out a couple solo records. He put out the Bowie single.
It wasn't a thing, but just worked together. I think they both like thrived off of each other.
Yeah, no, I mean it had to be that way for especially those two guys, I think. So I don't know. Going back to the record though, Big Country. You know, obviously I'm a basketball guy. That guy, Big Country, is like one of those what if guys. I know like now like people kind of go with the you know, he's too slow in the NBA and all that stuff. It's like, well, he also got like super injured like pretty early on.
Yeah, he had back problems. Like, it's a common misconception that Big Country was a bust, like draft-wise.
Right. Yeah.
He was all rookie team. He was all second-year team. He had like a great 3 or 4. Like his big contract, the contract that was a bust was his second contract, because that's when they like his rookie contract was great. He was like a 20-10 guy every night. And his second contract, he got hurt right after that on his back, and then kind of wasn't ever the same after that. But, like, as a draft pick and a rookie, like his first, 3 to 4 years, dude was a solid pick, unstoppable. And but, yeah, he wasn't a bust as a draft pick. That second contract was kind of a bust.
Yeah, I also think about how, because he was drafted by Vancouver when the Grizzlies were in Vancouver. That's like, obviously, fast forward 10 years, and the Grizzlies are in Memphis. That's kind of like a perfect landing spot, other than obviously Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah,
it's you know what I mean.
I want to say he never played a game in Memphis. He was still on the team, but he never actually, because that's when his injury started. Like he was supposed to play some, and was just back problems and never made it. But yeah, like Memphis isn't that far from like. Yeah. He's from almost Arkansas. He's from like, I don't know, 10 or 15 miles from Arkansas. So other side of Arkansas, you're in Memphis. And so not much further than Oklahoma City. Like, so that it would have been a great fan base, and the OSU fans. And yeah, that would have been a cool spot. Like if you could have had some good years in Memphis. Is
he back in Oklahoma? Do you even know?
Yeah. I'm my friends and family are all down in Sequoyah County still. He's back in Sequoyah County. And, they see him all the time. And I don't know that he's listened to it yet, but my sister-in-law works at a car dealership, and she told him about the song one day. So I know he knows we have a song about him. I don't know if he knows he made the title cut, but He knows we got a song about him.
Well, lucky for you, he does listen to new slang. So, I mean, he's learned all this new stuff already now.
And he's
when this
been a hero of mine since I was a little kid.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like back. I guess like that's like with big country especially, it's just kind of like, oh, well, that guy's from Oklahoma. He's a massive guy. Okay, well, that's kind of a cool guy to play or be a fan of. But then soon, obviously, Dallas got Dirk, so it was like another tall white guy to be a big fan of, and he didn't get injured, so, I guess that's how it goes.
Well, I like my basketball heroes American.
Yeah, like that's the thing with Dallas now. No, we just get like just
you
European
got a good
dudes.
one.
Yeah. But are you a Thunder fan? Or
big time Thunder fan. Like I just always, casually like the NBA. Probably didn't really have a favorite team, but then the Thunder have made like everyone in Oklahoma big fan. Did I know?
Yeah, I have a friend who moved up to Oklahoma City, and he was kind of a Mavs, Spurs, just kind of loose fan base kind of thing. Moves up to Oklahoma City, and then like just bought in to everything. And I think there's like, in my opinion, there's this unofficial rule of like, if you're whatever your age is, you can't have like a guy's jersey younger than you. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that was a rule, but it makes sense. I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, and this guy comes back and he's got jerseys and caps, and I'm like, dude. And of course, like Russ was his guy, which of course,
Thunder Mania
gone.
I was a James Harden fan, like in the early Thunder days, and broke my heart when he got traded / left.
Well, that trade right there is one of those things where, they said they wouldn't be able to afford all three of them, Durant and Russ and Harden, and then it came out later, like where
if we wouldn't have gave Ibaka so much money, we could have kept Harden.
Yeah. Well, there's that. There's the they didn't anticipate, they didn't have the foresight to see that the NBA's salary cap was going to also jump up, because that's the whole reason why Golden State could even get KD, because of the big money bump. And so had they realized that, had the foresight, they would have been able to keep all three forever, basically.
Boy, yeah, and then also with the KD deal, like I don't know what the logic was, but obviously if someone's not going to re-sign and their contract's expiring, you're going to trade them and get what you can for them.
Yeah.
His whole excuse was, I'm waiting on the cap to go up so you can sign me for more. And they're like, okay, we'll keep you and not trade you.
Yeah.
And then so that's how you end up empty-handed.
Right.
And KD's at Golden State.
Yeah. I'm all about just like letting players go wherever and like not being pissed off at the player, but also at the same time, like I'm like, oh, I've had 20 years of fucking Dirk, and if who's to say Luka doesn't fucking leave on year 8, year 9?
Yeah.
So like I probably would have a different opinion, but
so the Thunder have been good like since they've been in Oklahoma, and so like other than like the first 2 years maybe, and then, so now like
new
not
experience.
being good and not having superstars is a pretty different experience and for us.
Yeah. Well, Presti's been trading everyone away and just kind of being like the way station.
Just stocking up draft picks.
Yeah.
Like
that's the way he's been. Yeah.
Hopefully we hit on some.
Well, that's the thing with now you guys got Horford, and everyone thought like he was going to be a just dead weight salary wise, all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that I've noticed that OKC never really does is buyouts, and like Horford would be a buyout candidate. And instead of doing that, they'd be like, yeah, we're going to shut him down for the rest of the year and, see if we can trade him next year. And some contender's going to give a pick of some worth.
Yeah. We're going to have picks. So we just got to make some right ones.
All of the picks.
Yeah, basically. SGA. That's our future in.
I will say
Thunder.
that, like, of the teams that are going to be able to have Cade next year, like I will say like Oklahoma City would probably be like my first choice. Like I don't want him to go to like the Pelicans because like bad ownership. Minnesota would just be a fucking like that's where players go to die.
Yeah.
So that would not be a bad backcourt of SGA and Cunningham.
I'd be happy to have him. We need somebody.
So, yeah, I don't know. If anyone's still listening here, they've made it through the sports talk. I want to break one more time to talk about our pals over at Desert Door and offer up a quick Thomas Mooney's Cocktail Minute. As I've said probably 100 times by now, by no means am I a seasoned mixologist or bartender, but these have been some of my Desert Door go-tos. For starters, let's just go with the tried and true ranch water. Pop the top off the Topo Chico, take a good swig, now pour in some Desert Door, and top it off by throwing in a few lime wedges. Never fails. This one, it's so simple it probably doesn't even count, but again, pretty foolproof. Do the exact same thing, but get you a Mexican Coca-Cola. I guess you can go with a regular one, but you're really cutting yourself short if you don't opt for the Mexican import variety. All right, here's the change-up you've been waiting for. Desert Door Sangria. This one is prime for when you have company coming over and you aren't wanting to just be over there making 6 different drinks at a time. What you'll need is some Desert Door, obviously, a bottle of red wine, honey, boiling water, apple cider vinegar, some cinnamon sticks, a couple of apples, and some thyme sprigs. I know, that may sound intimidating, but trust me, it's worth the prep, and honestly, it's pretty easy. For starters, get you a punch bowl, add that honey, those cinnamon sticks, and the boiling water together. Now you're going to want to stir that all up and let it cool down for about an hour or so. Remember, patience is a virtue. Once that's done, add some Desert Door and stir vigorously. Now add the wine, the cider, and the vinegar, and continue stirring until it's equally mixed. Now slice those apples up and toss them in. Put in those thyme sprigs as well. Now you can pour that over some ice and you have a mighty fine sangria. Chef's kiss. Anyway, those have been some of my favorite go-tos as of late. And remember, Desert Door is as versatile as vodka and more refined, smooth, complex, and intriguing than tequila. It's rich and balanced, and whether you decide to keep it simple or want to experiment, Desert Door is that perfect Texas spirit. There's plenty more recipes over at desertdoor.com as well. Check out the show notes for a link. All right, let's get back to the episode. Going back to the record, I want to talk about how, obviously, like you cut a song that was a song that you wrote when Turnpike, and Turnpike obviously cut the song. What was that always one of those songs that you wanted to?
Fall Out of Love?
Yeah, Fall Out of Love, yeah.
Yeah, so, for a couple years, me and Amber had been doing it as a duet, and I think it adds a whole other dynamic to the song. Like, you've got, like a man and a woman, like, sort of fussing and fighting, and I thought that was a really neat take on it, and we started doing it live like that, and I said, we got to re-record this one. It's too cool as a duet, and like maybe the song always should have been a duet, but didn't really think of it at the time we recorded it. But I really like it that one. It turned out really good.
Yeah, well, that's where I was wanting to go with it. That was kind of like one of those ideas that you had back in the day of it being a duet, or if it was one of those.
Really didn't, and like when we originally recorded it, it was kind of a newer idea. Like we were just working it up for me and Amber to sing. I was like, well, what if we did this as a duet? And this works. Like the lines even split up well.
Right.
Like you're talking to each other, and so that's kind of how it evolved.
Yeah. You mentioned old Johnny Burke having some co-writes on here. Been talking with him throughout the pandemic. Every once in a while, having a phone call here and there. Obviously, gifted songwriter and storyteller. What's it like writing when you sit down with a guy like Johnny?
Well, it depends on what kind of shape you catch him in. The first thing I'm going to say, but it's neat, man. He's definitely one of the hardest working songwriters I've ever been around. Like kind of a put your nose to the grindstone and let's get this thing finished. Let's work on this thing. Whereas I don't know. If I hit roadblock or just get stuck on something, I'm more apt to put it down. Like, I'm gonna go clear my head. I'll give this some time and think about it and see what comes to me. And like, he's more of a no, let's sit down and get this thing done. Which I've never been great at doing with songs. So sometimes it really helps me finish songs that I otherwise wouldn't, and if I wasn't working with Johnny. And so I think what all we got on there. Astronaut, we wrote that one together. There's one called Let the Whiskey Do the Talking. That was me and him, and Amber helped on that one too. And then Drunk, High, and Loud, like a song that a lot of people have probably heard me sing for years. Me and Johnny wrote that one together, and it was cool to finally record it. It was kind of a staple of Turnpike shows forever, and so it's cool to finally kind of have it on an album. But that's one me and Johnny did, and that's I don't know, he's one of my favorite people to write with. We kind of click good and understand what each other means, and like I said, he's believe it or not, he's sort of like the driving force. I'm like, hey, let's get this done, man. I think we can finish this, or whereas like I'm more of like let me ponder on that for a while.
Yeah, I can see that being the case with Johnny as far as like doing the let's work through this lull, if you will, the hard part of it. So yeah, he's obviously one of the sharpest guys around.
Yeah, sure. And we've been buddies a long time, and have written a lot together, and so that I think that helps a lot. You just get comfortable, Yeah.
Well, is writing with him? Has it been? You mentioned how helping finish up songs that maybe you didn't necessarily think would ever get done and stuff like that. How much is there of just like stuff that you've written that you may not even get cut, but it's just it's quote unquote finished just because of anything out there?
I mean, probably an album's worth, or maybe two, just stuff that we haven't found a spot for yet, or I was telling the story today about we were out here for Dalton's thing years ago. I think you probably saw us, and me and him were staying at the hotel together, and we were here like at least 2 or 3 days, and because I think I'd come to play and then had a few days, and Turnpike was in Midland or something, and I met up with him there, but and we'd written some songs, and he called me one day, like not long ago. It was a baseball song, and it was I know there's a line about the Rangers and the Astros. It was kind of when they started being in the same league,
Right.
And he's like, hey man, he's like, do you have a copy of that baseball song we wrote? And I was like, no man, I think we demoed that on your phone, and I don't think you ever sent it to me. I was like, I'll probably have some lyrics. And so I found what lyrics I had, and it was only like half of them. I was like, man, I think like the finished lyrics and the recording were on like your phone. He's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. And like I sent him what I had, and he's like, yeah, that's it. He's like, you remember any more of it? I was like, not really. I was like, do you? And he's like, no. He's like, damn it, man. He's like, that was a good song. There's no telling how many like that we've written.
Yeah, it's out there missed on the I remember you guys sending over a song that you and Stout, and I think was Jeff there.
Yeah,
that you guys wrote during the Drinko
back
thing.
of the Blue Light one night.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was about, other than maybe like a Walmart parking lot or some shit.
Yeah, something about waking up in a Walmart. It was something Charlie had started. Like it might have just been a line or two, and like me and him and Jeff fleshed it out.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna cut that song and put it out on a single, guys. Just to.
He was playing it for a while. He might be the only one who still knows it. Like I don't really know it. Like, I used to have a recording of us drunkenly celebrating and singing it after we wrote it or something.
Yeah, the other song that you guys wrote that probably more well known is the one that Dalton cut.
With Charlie?
Yeah, with Stout. As far as the
that happened. I think Charlie was like staying at my house, and Dalton had sent him this song, and it's like, hey man, do you want to help me with this? It's some. I think Dalton started it, and then like me and Charlie finished it. Is kind of how that went down. And we were sitting at the house in Tahlequah, and helped with a few lines. Like I halfway felt bad for getting a co-write on that one, but they were nice enough to put me on there. But that's kind of how that went down.
Yeah. That one, I know Charlie is always like giving Dalton shit because I guess it like the version y'all wrote originally, like the guy goes like on a murder spree kind of thing. And
Yeah,
like
it was
Dalton
a lot more
kinda,
brutal, and like,
yeah.
I think he cleaned it up and changed it a little bit. Dalton did to call. Yeah, like they were like. I think me and Charlie had like chunks of brains flying around and stuff like that.
Brain matter.
Yeah.
So yeah. You know how Charlie is. The one time, here's a good little Charlie Stout story is, do you guys remember when you guys played up here during 4th of July a couple years back?
By that bank or something?
Yeah, it was like y'all and like Dirty River Boys and Charlie Stout, and Charlie goes up there to play, and he plays like 45 minutes or whatever, 30 minutes, and goes off stage and is in a good mood and all that kind of stuff, and he comes out, and then the people who are like running the thing ask him to go back on stage to play more, like another hour, and then like Charlie, you know, is pissed off, and he gets up there and he just starts singing all of his songs that are like murder ballads, and like it was two totally different shows just in personality. Charlie was like engaging during that first part, trying to make some jokes, and then the other time he was just up there singing songs like pissed off, and like, he came off stage in a bad mood.
I enjoyed both sets, but so the first one he killed it, you know, was like in a good mood, put on a great show, you know, like played his hits, you know, told good stories, jokes, and like you said, you know, he was being fun and stuff, and he like kills it obviously, and then gets off stage, and he's at the merch booth, like, you know, like signing some records or whatever he had, and the lady comes up to him and it's like, can you get up and do another hour? Like the thing was just timed very weird. Like I don't know if someone canceled or they just timed it bad, but there's like a huge gap in between like when we started and when they had Charlie finishing, and so he's like, yeah, I'll do it, but yeah, obviously he's pissed off, so it's just like a mean, angry Charlie Stout set, like the second one, and yeah, it's all killing people and pissed off, sad songs.
Yeah. Well, his whole thing has always been, if you're opening, people only want to hear you for like 30 minutes at most, especially if you're just like with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, maybe 45.
Yeah. And then, of course, he went out and played all his murder ballads.
Yeah. Like,
racked up the body count.
You want the rest of the show? I already played you the fun stuff.
Yeah. That show, I don't even know if I told you this, but my grandma came up and played, and you knew that part probably, but she went back there and was like just standing backstage and to watch the show, and the people who were running it asked her to see her badge or whatever her wristband is, so she shows it and said, "My grandson got it for me," referring to me, but they took it as like my grandson got it as in one of y'all, and so then they just started giving her like a new like a padded seat to sit down on, and like food and like all this like.
She deserves it. I'm glad they took. Yeah. I honestly thought that story was going to go another direction, like they're trying to kick your grandma out.
Oh
of the backstage.
no! Like yeah.
Your grandma was always sweet to us. Thank you for the cookies.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, she's doing good. So
good to hear.
I told her that you guys were playing up here, and you know it's just too late these days.
Kind of late, yeah. This is a late start for me these days. It's kind of funny, like Oklahoma actually for a weird while had a bar / whatever curfew during COVID, and like you couldn't be out after like 11 or midnight. Yeah. And so a lot of shows, bars, everything dialed their hours back earlier, and so like some of them are still doing pretty early shows. You know, you're on 7 or 8. Like I don't know if we've done an 11 o'clock showtime in a while.
Yeah. Well, that's what's weird here. Like they did. Yeah. They shut down here at midnight during a lot of the quarantine stuff, but then that meant like obviously earlier shows and opening up at 8, and they just stuck to opening up at 8 now, and it's like, well, shit.
Kind of the other direction, huh?
You know, okay, but like still obviously doing 11 o'clock starts and all that stuff now. But yeah, I mean they're about to open up here in a minute, anyways. Yeah. So you want to go grab a beer?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to grab some food.
Well, I was just using that as an Indian.
But, yes, I would love to have a beer somewhere.
So, yeah, anyways. Yeah, we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, let's get one, buddy.
Sounds good. All right, that is it for this one. As RC said, be on the lookout for Big Country by RC and the Ambers coming your way later this year. Be sure to stop on over and visit our pals over at the Blue Light Live in Desert Door. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week for more episodes.